Got it. It
Good.
says you already started recording. That's not consensual, but it is all good. What is good, Axel? What's up,
What is
man?
happening, my brother? It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. And this is our first time. So it's not going to be all that perfect because I got a lot of background stuff going on. We just moved into our house here in
Nice.
Germany. So sorry for a little bit of the background noise, but
It's all good. No worries. I got some background noise over here too.
so I wanted to start this first episode, podcast, whatever you want to call it, with you basically. My wife is laughing at me. It's all good.
That's
Where,
fine.
where are you at?
I'm at work right now. I'm at
More
work.
specifically, where are you located?
I'm in Nicaragua, Managua, Nicaragua.
Okay. So I kind of just wanted to touch on, we don't get to really get a good point of view of a lot of people from third world countries. I mean, most of
That's right.
people, at least that I follow, primarily U.S., UK. Those are the big ones. I gotta be honest with you, man. I am so surprised every time I hear from anyone, "Oh, he's from Nicaragua," or if I even hear the word Nicaragua as
Yeah,
somebody else's mouth. That shit is a surprise.
it
So,
is.
what's it like living there? Or tell me about it.
Well,
Are you Nicaraguan?
I'm Nicaraguan, 100% Nicaraguan. I was born in Granada, and I was living here for about 10 years or so. And after that, my mother and I decided to move to the United States legally, and I was there for another 10 years, best 10 years of my life. And after that, I felt like I wasn't doing much, so I decided to come back, and now I'm working in my family's company as a marketing manager. So when you
Awesome,
said
man.
what's it like living here, well, it's
Yeah.
different. It's very different from the U.S. Not a lot of options on what you can do during your fun time, free time, I guess you could say. There's really not many options. People like to drink a lot, I can tell you that. A lot of beer going on in here, a lot of traditional Nicaraguan beers. You got Toña, Victoria, and a bunch of other ones. A lot of liquor coming
You guys
through.
got rum, right?
What was that?
You got a really popular rum, right?
Yeah, we got a really popular rum. It's even came out in a couple of movies. It's called Flor de Caña, and the older it is, the better the quality, and also higher price, if you know what I
¿Y
mean.
qué significa flor de caña en inglés? What does that mean for the
Bueno,
English guy?
Flor de Caña in English. Man, I'm gonna have to Google that real quick. You caught me off guard. I guess I could translate.
Hey, man, come on. You gotta tell us about Nick. You gotta put
Flor, Flor
somebody's
de
gotta put Nick.
Caña in English means cane flower. Now, of course, I should know that because I've spoken the language for 10 years, but once you've been here for quite some time, you start forgetting a few words and you're no longer able to communicate the same way. And that's what happened to me. And now I have this ugly accent that I have to deal with, but it is what it is.
It's not that bad, man. I lived with you for those 10 years, and I mean, your English has improved a lot, and it improved really quick. I think
Thank
you
you.
came to the United States when you were in middle school, right? Seventh grade?
Yeah, yeah. I was in middle school. I believe it was fifth grade, and my teacher, he was a very white guy, and he was really racist. And so when this Latino came in the room, he was mad dogging me. And first day of school gives me this whole test, and I'm just like, whoa. Profesor, yo no entiendo nada. Y me dice, well, that's not my problem, dude. Like, that's what you got to do. And so my stepdad, Gustavo, spoke to the administration and they changed me to a different professor who I believe he was called Mr. Walbarn, and he was able to help me a lot more. And I was able to get through sixth grade. And after that, it was uphill for me.
That's crazy, man. I actually didn't know that. I'm gonna step away real quick, get a little bit of a different, more quiet environment. Like I said, I just moved in basically not too long ago here to this house, so I don't have my office set up yet. I'm in the process of it.
That's fine.
But touching back, we're gonna digress a little bit. because I kind of want to touch on someone like in your position coming to the United States in this case
Yeah,
from third world country. I don't, and forgive me if I keep saying third world country, but
it is a third world country.
yeah, most people don't even know where Nicaragua is. They don't even know. It fucking sounds like a place in Africa,
Of Costa Rica, Panama, but not Nicaragua.
which is the biggest country in Central America,
It
yet
is.
the poorest.
It is.
So yeah, man, I didn't know you were dealing with a racist professor. How did you analyze that? Did you could tell right away, like you were
Man,
getting that vibe,
to
or?
be honest, I just felt like I just felt really bad because I was coming with different type of clothing, different mindset, no English. Everybody spoke English. I could tell looking around the room, the people were making fun of me. It was horrible, dealing with the bullying. This one dude, one time, he looked at my shoes and he was like, "You don't got no better shoes than that, homie. You can't be bringing that to school." Yeah, 4 years later, I was the popular guy. And he had the ugly shoes, but that's how life changes. Sometimes you take turns.
Yeah, so I want people to like whoever's listening to this. Um, you moved from Nicaragua to California, but more specifically, the city of San Bernardino, California,
Right.
which a lot of people don't know about San Bernardino.
People don't
It
know
is,
about Cali.
yeah, it is pretty ghetto. Let's just say it's ghetto.
It is.
Especially going to the middle school you went to. I don't know if you want to put that out there, the name of it out there,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Cajon High School all the way, man.
yeah,
Cool. Cowboys.
yeah, man. So,
AKC.
tell us that story. I know you got a pretty interesting story how you may have or may have not been jumped in a gang.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we want to put it all in the same podcast, but yes, I was involved in a couple of gangs. I would like to elaborate more on that on different podcasts that we're going to do in the future. But just to give you a quick summary, I was involved in a gang, but it was not for the purpose of wanting to become some sort of tough guy. It was because there was some African American people that had some problems with my group for no reason at all, and I was looking for protection basically, and I just
Nice.
wanted to make sure that I wasn't gonna get my butt beat every single time that I was walking around the hallways. So that's why I joined the crew, and they protected me.
That's during high school.
That was during high school. It was the biggest crew, the biggest gang at the time, and some people were at a smaller level where it was just like tagging on the doors and stuff. Some people were at a higher level where they actually had guns, knives, and that sort of stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting, man. So coming out of high school, how long did you spend in the United States before you made your return back to Nicaragua?
Well, it was 10 years. It was 10 years, and after that, I decided I wasn't doing much. I wasn't doing much. I was working at McDonald's. I was on the wax every single day. For those of you who don't know what wax is, Daniel, you can elaborate more on what wax is because you have done a lot of research on the matter.
Yeah, definitely. Concentrated marijuana, basically.
Concentrated. So
There's gonna be someone out there who's over there smoking the be like, "Hey, man, actually, it's concentrated THC." I don't know.
yeah, I'm gonna have to
It's
blur that out
concentrated.
because you cussed, but that's fine. But yeah, it's basically concentrated. It's a lot stronger, and the effects are a lot bigger too. So I was on that 24/7 working. I got too into the wax that I actually left my job and I left the university that I was in. I was at Valley College pursuing a business degree. 2 years into the degree, I decided it was not for me, and I left, and I was doing nothing with my life. So, my family, my Nicaraguan family, they hit me up and they were like, Axel, why don't you just come to Nicaragua and you see a different perspective and maybe you like it and, try it out for a couple months. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm not good. I already lost everything. Might as well try it out. So I came and I loved it. I loved it, everything about it. It It was a different lifestyle. Like I mentioned at the beginning, a lot less options of what you can do for your fun time, but the environment is different. It's not like in the U.S. where you're always looking for time. Time is always an issue, right? Time, time, time. You never have time to do anything, and when you do have time, a very short time. So time management in the United States is key. Here in Nicaragua, you've got a lot of time, and the days go by really slow. And the work, the pressure is a lot less. I could tell you right off the bat, out there in the U.S., it's a lot harder, man. I was just working at McDonald's, which a lot of people consider it one of the lowest jobs that you can get. It was tough. It was tough. You have certain strict guidelines that you have to follow, and if you don't follow them, your manager is gonna get up. You know, it's a lot different. It's a lot different. And here I'm working in a family company. It's a lot more relaxed, but I am learning a lot of stuff, and I have been for the past 4 years, and I keep learning every day.
Your grandma's the CEO of that company, right? Or
She
former?
was previously the former CEO. Now she's the legal representative of the company, like Dana White of the UFC. And
Right.
my uncle is the new CEO. He's the new person in charge. My dad is the vice CEO, which uh, I think it's a position that does not exist in the United States, but here it does. And after that, we have the CFO and all that stuff. And for me, well, right now the marketing department is getting smaller. Only two people working right now at the moment. My assistant and of course myself, the vice marketing manager. Our manager recently left to Canada about a month ago.
Canada.
Yeah, she moved to Canada legally.
For what?
Well, her husband is out there, so she decided to, move forward with her family.
The reason I asked that, man, is because, like I said, um, I know there's a lot of people who don't know, but Nicaragua and Nicaraguans, if they move anywhere, it's most likely going to be Miami. You know what I mean? Like, you got a bunch of Cubans out in Miami. Like, hey, I don't know if it's a stereotype or not, but that just so happens to be the case in Nicaragua. You got a little agua in Miami.
Everybody always talks about Miami. I mean, I don't know what it is, and it even gets me a little bit upset. But every single time, it's like, oh, you need to come to Miami. In Miami, we have everything. It's like Nicaragua on steroids. We got all these different things. Nicaraguan people everywhere, Cubans. We got all of this. I'm just like, well, that's not Nicaragua. It's but we have nacatamales and we have all these different traditional foods that you guys have there. Yeah, but it doesn't taste the same. It's not the same beans, not the same rice, not the same
Did you say
ingredient.
tamale?
Nacatamales, yes.
What now? That sounds a little different. So I'm half Mexican, half Nicaraguan. For those who probably don't know, my Mexican side's telling me you're saying tamale,
No, no, no,
tamale.
no, no. No, nada de tamales. Yeah, it's one thing to have tamales. Tamales are made up of sometimes chicken, pork. People like to put the stuff in there, and they're very small for the most part, but very tiny. You gotta eat like five or six if you're like me to get full. But
Yeah.
when you're talking about a naka tamale, you're talking about a tamale on steroids. I'm talking something huge. It has rice. It has meat, which I think it's made out of pork. Pork. It has potatoes. It even has tomatoes, and it has a bunch of other ingredients that make it a traditional Nicaraguan dish.
Yeah, I've had the privilege to have my own nacatamales, and I know you got pulled aside for a little bit, but I'll go and digress. So yeah, I've been to Nicaragua about 3 times in my life. One time when I was about 7 or 9, another time when I was 15, and the last time I was, I think, 20 years old. That was the last time I went to Nicaragua. I think when I went, you had already been living there for 1 year.
Yeah.
So how was that year for you? How was that? Because I know you kind of took a little while to decide. That's a pretty big move going from the U.S. You know what I mean? You left Nicaragua to come to the U.S., which a lot of people say the land of opportunity. Just to go back to Nicaragua, a lot of people feel like shit. You're digressing a little bit there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
How long?
definitely.
How long did it take for you to make that decision? And what was the pressure like? I know you had been living with your mom at the time. She didn't want you to leave.
Yeah, my parents did not want me to leave because, like you said, people look at the United States as the land of opportunity, and for a lot of people it is. But for me, it's not the case because my family here in Nicaragua owns a very successful business. Now, if I would have stayed in the United States of America, I would have pretty much lived an average life, just another person in the system, and I don't know if I would have been happy with that. So when I came here and they began to give me help with different things, a car, a house, and just everything, it's just my life set up pretty much. I started to see the success that was available for me and what I could have in a lot of years, what I could build here. So it was really a process of really analyzing, what's my future going to be like, because I don't want it to be a regular future. I want to live good. I want to be able to feel good. And I felt like the US was not doing it for me, or at least I wasn't, getting the most out of it as I could have probably done so. I had no motivation. I got nobody to blame but myself. But at least, I was able to turn that around when I came back here and made some progress. I'm almost done with my degree.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so
What
that's
degree?
my degree is a strategic marketing degree, also getting a concentration in branding and communications. So I was able to turn my life around. I went from being this dude, on on the sidewalk, smoking wax on the daily with the wrong crowd, to working in an office, with AC every single day. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
was able to do that, through dedication, change in mindset, and now I am where I am, and I owe that to my family, to God, and to myself.
Good news, man. Okay, so in my case, my father, he came illegally as well from Nicaragua to the States. You're probably going to be a little bit more ability to touch on this topic than I will, but there had been a civil war going on, very big civil war, which left Nicaragua, if I'm not wrong, maybe very political, or
Yeah, I'm
right?
not really able to touch more on that subject because if I do, who knows what they can do to me. But what I can tell you is, things have not been good since 2018. However, it's like we all know what's happening, but we're all on different boats. It's almost
Okay,
like we're all sailing, but we're all on different boats. So in the boat that I'm on, I'm not really dealing with much pain or anything that's that negative. But for people that are in a different boat, smaller boats, they have a lot of things that they're struggling with, that they're going through, and I really feel bad. I feel bad for the Nicaraguan people because they're suffering. They have lost a lot of people, and just if you just Google some of the stuff that's happened here, you're gonna be able to find a lot of, I guess you could say, disgusting things that you don't see in other countries. It's just absolutely mind-boggling what's happening here. But there's nothing that we can do at this point.
before we started this podcast, first thing I told you, I'm not too big on politics. I'm not really interested in it.
Neither am I.
I don't have a stand. I don't have any specific viewpoint on it. But I think this is an important discussion to have because, again, this is kind of the introduction of a podcast. Being, again, half Nicaraguan, and you coming from the country, I'd love for people to just be aware of it. I don't know, maybe you get something out of it. So you had personally known some people from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, in 2018, that we're not going to touch on the subject just because it'd be a touchy subject, but you physically knew people who went through struggles with that specific situation. I guess that we don't have to talk about the situation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was friends with one of the guys who was really big on politics, but the thing is, people don't understand here that you cannot. And I hope I don't get fired for what I'm about to say, but this is really what I believe. People need to understand that you cannot, even if you want to, you cannot talk bad about the government in public. I mean, that's not going to do anything good for you. I mean, I understand there's freedom of speech and all these other rights that we have, but what do you get out of posting in your social media that you don't agree with the laws? I mean, you're not going to change the world by doing that. So my friend who had some horrific things done to him, he also, from what I understand, was doing some harm as well, to police officers, attacking people, and just going out of his mind. I mean, it it was something was going to happen to him. I mean, you can't starting riots and being the leader and we need peace in this country. That's what we need, and I think any country would agree with that. I mean, if you're trying to cause chaos, the government's gonna get you, dude. Like that's not what they want. I mean, especially if you want to be the leader of that, something's gonna happen to you, but and that's what happened to my buddy. And they did some horrific things to him. I wouldn't say he deserved it, but I would also not say that I didn't see it coming. You understand where I'm going with this?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like a lot of people, they're going to be a little touchy and be like, what? We believe in police reform, all this. Again, not trying to get political. This is just how we view it. And the way we view it, hey, just do the right thing, mind your business, right? But also, what a lot of people not understand, specifically an audience coming from the United States, is there's other countries, such as Nicaragua, where people just don't mess around like that. I've only been in Germany for about a year now, and over here, they let the Americans know, hey, look, you're not in your country. We will handle things differently here. We will lay hands on you, basically. We'll
That's
lay hands on you if we have to. Like,
yeah, yeah. So
we don't have that liberty.
exactly. So think about the U.S. Imagine if a group of people came together in the U.S. and tried to start police riots and fight police and start throwing stuff at police. What do you think is going to happen to them? You know, it's not going to be that far from what happened here. I mean, it's the same thing. That's not the way to fight against the government. But hey, it is what it is. We went through those tough times, and now the new topic is COVID-19. People are.
Yeah.
This is the new lifestyle that we have to adapt to.
I think you guys also had a little scare about a month ago.
Oh yeah, we
Supposedly,
had
I had read the
big
biggest
hurricane.
hurricane hit. What
Yeah.
happened with that?
Going back to the boats that I was telling you about, we're all on different boats, and for me, I was lucky enough to be on a big boat, so I did not experience that hurricane as bad as other people did because of my location. But I do understand that some parts of Nicaragua were extremely affected. People lost their homes, some even lost their lives. It was absolutely devastating, and it's really interesting to see how the world is changing so much, right? From the last couple of years, it almost seems like all these things are starting to happen little by little, one after the other. I wonder if there's some sort of message behind that, but who knows?
Where do you live? Do you live near the capital?
I live near the capital, yeah.
Yeah. what is that like living in the capital of a country? You know what I mean? That's pretty.
Look,
It's a small country, but
it's a lot
you
of
know,
work.
a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Here we work Monday. Ooh, look at the chest. Look at the chest. You see, it's a lot of work because here I don't have the hours right now on the top of my head, but dude, just to get an idea, we work Monday through Saturday. I mean, my only break is on Sunday. So I'm tired all the time, and you still got to find time to do your personal things. And it's very difficult. It's one of the things that I miss about the United States is they actually respected your working hours. They didn't let you work extra time, and if you wanted to work extra time, it was something that you could choose to do or not to do. Here, it's like, well, it's voluntarily, but it's really not voluntarily. If you don't do it, they look at you the wrong way. But it is what it is. I'm part of the family, so I can't really talk crap about that.
Yeah, yeah. As for traveling, like you don't have that liberty you did back in the States. You know what I mean? Where have you traveled to, or what are specific locations? A lot of I don't want to say Nicaragua. Just what have you done? More so, what do you want to do after
I've been
retiring?
traveling a lot lately, but locally to different departments, like Matagalpa. I visited recently. I also visited El Cañón de Somoto, which is very far, almost at the la frontera de Nicaragua. And so I've been learning about new places, trying not to be in my bubble anymore because now I'm starting my life with my new girlfriend, and I'm 24. I'm trying to live life to the fullest and enjoy my younger years pretty much. And Nicaragua has a lot of beautiful places to offer. We got a lot of volcanoes. We have a lot of beautiful places to visit with animals, a lot of wildlife, and just beautiful
Oh,
things to go and see. But but what I said at the beginning about the less options, the limited options, I was referring to restaurants, fast foods. There's no Six Flags here. There's no, what's it called? That other place, the one that
yeah.
make movies. There's no Disney, Universal Studios, none of that. So, there's a positive and there's a negative.
Do you want to come back to the United States?
Well, I think in the future it would be an option for me, but I'd like to see where things go. As for now, I want to see if I can actually make it happen here, because my future wife is from here. We have a couple of business ideas that we want to implement, and we really want to do it ourselves. A lot of people think that it's impossible. Everybody wants to work for a business, but if we had a different mindset, we could be the business and people could work for us, and things could change. I mean, we just need the motivation to actually move, move and make the plans.
Yeah, that's important. That's important. Not only the motivation but the action behind it.
Yeah,
And
Johnny Woo said it right. 3 steps: get a goal, get a plan, and get up off. It's very simple. I mean, but nobody wants to do it. Everybody wants to find the answer. I'll have to blurb that out, but everybody wants the answer, and the answer is you gotta make a business plan and you gotta move forward with it. That's all it is.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was a good introduction to the podcast. I would like to hear a lot from you. What was your childhood like? Where do you come from? And what are you doing now? How has your life changed?
Cool. Yeah. So for me, I was born in San Bernardino, California. Didn't live there very long though. Grew up primarily in a city called Redlands, small town right next to San Bernardino. Probably, actually, well, not probably. It's not as ghetto. But my dad, who lived in San Bernardino, I'd visit him often. So I got to live from what I feel like, both lifestyles. With my mom, it's kind of like living in that town of Redlands. pretty chill. My dad, in the household, it was cool, but obviously growing up, got into some fun stuff too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can get
Let's
into
see
more details of that fun stuff in the next
later.
podcast.
Yeah, yeah,
Podcast number
absolutely.
2, we're gonna talk about all the fun stuff.
The fun stuff and also the trials and tribulations. We'll touch a little bit more on that.
Yeah, we
But
definitely.
um, I'm currently married. I'm a father, a husband,
Oh,
and
congrats!
also a United States soldier, baby. Yep.
Wow, United States soldier, military.
Yeah. Yes. Army.
Nice, nice. Well,
Yeah. So
congratulations, brother.
appreciate it, man. So I have only been here for a year now, hitting Germany. Pretty new. A lot of guys from the military are gonna be like, this guy doesn't. That's what I do not. But hey, man, I'm here for the long haul and making the future out of it.
I understand. I did some research on you, and I understand your goal is to become a sniper.
Yeah. So after joining my unit, we got here to Germany, and the best way to put it is January 1st of this year, 2020. So I'll be hitting a year in a couple weeks.
Nice.
So I got here January 1st, spent a month here, and went to Poland for 6 months.
Okay.
And Poland is just training out there. And what I did out in Poland, I went from my specific job in the military, by the way, is infantry. So
What does
the
that
way
mean
that
for people that are listening? What is infantry?
basically the first guys to go on the front line, baby. You know what I mean? Like we get a lot of infantrymen. Sorry, don't mean to curse. Get a lot of hate or a lot of stuff because a lot of the infantrymen look like cocky or whatnot. But you know what? I think it's a thin line between cocky and confident. And let's just say we're very confident in the fact that everyone else in the army is there to support us.
It's like
Not a lot of people are gonna like hearing that, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go with that idea too.
it's like the movie the American Sniper, right? There's a scene where the infantry is coming in, and then there's another section of soldiers that are looking at them the wrong way, and it's like the infantry is all walking like this because they're the top dogs, and the other people
Yeah,
are looking at them like like like
yeah,
these guys. It's kind of like that. Well, I guess
absolutely,
there's a
man.
little similarities to high school and freshmen and the seniors.
Yeah, no. So it's kind of funny because in reality, at this specific unit that I'm at, we don't deploy, so we just do training, and then we get stuck doing a lot of, not to curse, but a lot of undesirable jobs. Um, like for example, a week ago, I was just serving food to a bunch of people who are tested for a corona, COVID positive people who had been primary contacts to those guys. And a lot of the anger people have here, and I'm sure in overall with the army, is not doing what they signed up for.
Oh,
So a lot of infantrymen specifically, I hear this a lot still. They're like, I signed up to go kill people. I signed up to go fight for my country, but I'm over here doing a job I don't want to do. Um, I was actually talking to my wife about that yesterday. There's a lot of people who are just like unhappy. A lot of people who are like, I'm never going to come back and do this. And
what do you?
I've noticed that. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just noticed that most of these guys who joined the military after high school, most of them haven't had that experience of working in McDonald's. You know what I mean? You and I both worked in McDonald's. You probably had a little bit better than I did. I was a cook. That was not fun. Coming out oily every day, smelling like cheeseburgers.
I was employee of
But
the month.
yeah, hell yeah, there you go, man.
I was the cashier, man.
That's where the start of your marketing happened.
Yeah, yeah. Difficult.
But coming from doing McDonald's, working at Olive Garden for like 2 years, I worked at the Mission Inn, a really popular hotel in Riverside, California. Never really got down and dirty with work. Our buddy Richard, who's going to come up on the podcast later, he'll tell you a little bit more of that kind of lifestyle. But in my case, hey man, you know what? I'm grateful to be here. Who would have thought I'd be coming to Germany? So I'm happy to be in Germany. And
Nice.
whatever, man. Look, this is something you and we talked about a couple months ago. I don't know if you remember that conversation, but you told me as well. You would find people on Facebook that you knew in high school who joined the military complaining about their job. For one, man, you have nothing to complain about. What I did in Poland, instead of being somewhere where I was unhappy, I looked for the next opportunity. The next
Right.
opportunity for me was they were doing sorry, kind of started a little bit, got excited. They were doing tryouts for the sniper section in my unit.
Right. Yeah.
So I tried out. It was only like 7 of us, only 2 of us made it. And me and my buddy, Cam, we're here in the sniper section now. I got a slot to go to school in May, which a lot of people say it about. Go ahead.
From what I'm understanding from the way you're speaking is you're looking at going all the way, not just being a regular soldier. I mean, you really want to take it to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, it's kind of like joining the military mainly was for selfish reasons. My main thing was giving my family a better lifestyle. And while that sounds selfless for my family, a lot of people who join to fight for their country might view that as selfish. But being here, I learned there's a specific duty to follow. And yeah, like I'm 100% like that's the only way you're gonna be happy where you're at. Like it's like these guys are so unhappy because they're not doing what they want to do. Well, it's not about what you want to do. You already did what you have. We already signed the paper, right? So you might as well approach things with a good attitude.
Exactly.
So yeah, here the sky's the limit. You know what I mean? There's so much opportunity to grow within this organization that I can't find a thing to complain about.
Yeah, and not only that, but people don't focus on the fact that the line says serve your country. It doesn't say kill people. I mean, of course, that's included if anything comes down to it. But I mean, the goal is to serve the United States military, whatever they need, whether that's taking out trash or shooting someone in the head.
Yeah,
An order is an order, right? So at the end of the day, that's what you guys must follow. And I'm sick and tired of seeing people posting negative things. Hey, man, you signed the papers for a reason. Now deal with it. Deal with it with a positive attitude, just like you said. That's the best advice. I got a question for you. What would you say to a 17-year-old kid who is about to finish high school and he's thinking of joining the military? What would you say to him?
wait until you get your first job. Go get a job elsewhere before you decide to jump into something that you think you're ready for. Just wait. You know what I mean? That's what's made me grateful. Coming up from those jobs that made me feel unfulfilled, and now I feel like, yeah, there's a purpose behind what I'm doing.
Okay, cool. Well,
You know who Johnny Kim is? Have you heard of Johnny Kim?
no,
Johnny
no,
Kim.
no.
He's maybe you've seen this on YouTube or something, but he's a ex-Navy SEAL. He became a doctor, graduated from Harvard Medical School, and is now an astronaut in NASA.
Nice.
Yeah, so I heard of him from Jocko Willing's podcast, and one thing that you noted that he said specifically is don't ever feel like you're too high or too high of a rank or whatever, too high of a person. Don't ever feel like you're too high to take out the trash.
Yeah.
And, like, come on, you're hearing that from someone who is still enlisted in the Navy as an officer now. Someone who used the benefits of the military to finish school and go to one of the highest fucking schools in the States, Harvard. He became a doctor and now is working for NASA. You know what I mean? Like, I think in the military, there is, like in the outside world, it's like there's only, I don't know the exact number, but 20% of the population is millionaires, right? Or maybe 1%, whatever.
Yeah.
Small percentage. In the military, there's a small percentage of people who actually like what they're doing. And yeah, man, I mean, it's kind of unfortunate. Like, there's so much so many people here with a bad attitude. I think I don't know if you can say the same for your workplace environment. Hopefully it's healthy. What do you think?
No, no,
What's it
no.
like?
I think not just the military, but I think overall people they get into this whole habit of bad attitude. I mean, I cannot tell you how many people here. We have over from 300 to 400 employees that will work for us, 13 establishments, and so many people complain all the time. It's like, can you be thankful that you have a job and that you can feed your family and that you have a roof over your head? Why, instead of complaining, why don't you see ways that you can grow in the company? Because we have some people here that get paid some really nice salaries. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them, but that's something that I hope to have one day, you know? So
Yeah.
dude, stop complaining, man. Stop complaining and see how you can grow. I mean, I bet you at every single job, people do the same thing, always complaining because they have nothing else to talk about. It's like, let me complain about what I don't have. It's always wanting to have something that you don't have. And once you have it, you see that you don't, look, I have this professor who explained it very well. He graduated from Harvard. His name is what's his name? He's some bald guy from one college. I think he is Mr. Cannot remember. Don Jacks. I forgot his name, but the point is, this guy explained it very well. He says, "Hey, have you ever gotten a raise before?" And I said, "Yes, like 3 times. I got a raise." And how did you feel? Well, I felt great. I felt great. My numbers went up. I was getting paid more. He said, and how did you feel 2 days after? I said, well, I felt like I should have gotten the raise, a long time ago. It was like, that's exactly right. Because when you get a raise, you feel like, at first you feel happy, but then the psychology in your head starts telling you, wait a second, I should have been getting paid this a long time ago. I've been getting underpaid this entire time. You understand? So now you want more, and it becomes this whole thing of this whole battle with like you're never
Cycle.
this whole cycle that you're never satisfied with what you have. But yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Not to interrupt you, but to interrupt you at the same time. You and I were in a group chat with our buddy Richard,
Yeah,
and the group chat is primarily based on how to. I don't know. We just talk about whatever. This is what the podcast is going to be about. Really, just us talking about whatever.
yeah.
But more importantly, in
This,
that group chat, we kind of just give each other that extra input on how to continue to grow. And I think it's important that, like, I think I've gone through it. You've been through it, Richard, that you kind of had those moments where you just became extremely complacent. And especially, I don't know, man, like now I don't know what necessarily, I guess I could ask you this question and then you can revert it back. But what gave you that kick that you needed? That kick, like, damn, dude, like, what am I doing? I need to
yeah.
do
Well,
something.
when I came here, what gave me the kick was, hey, we're gonna put you to work, and I was just like, what? Yeah, you have to work here, and I was just like, all right, whatever. Now I have to work. I liked it. Loved the position. Hello, hi, I see you.
This is my
Hi,
daughter.
I'm your
Her
uncle.
mom doesn't know she snuck upstairs, so she's over
She
here hanging.
thank you.
Say hi. Wait.
Oh,
Say hi.
well,
All right. You sitting up?
what gave me it's really nice to see her. I want to have one of my own in a couple of years. Very very similar to you.
Coming soon. Coming soon.
Coming soon, coming soon. Right, Martha? She's a little angry right now. Anyway,
Oh,
what,
good.
what gave me the kick was that I had to work. I was forced to work, but also just myself mentally. I changed a lot. I was like, man, I'm done with the whole drug situation. Now I'm focused on working, and because of that, I changed everything, all my habits. And even though you're not paying attention, I'll say that to the viewers that
Paying attention. I'm
everybody
paying attention.
everybody everybody can change. I have a lot of friends from the US that are always hitting me up. It's like, Axel, you turn your life around, and I'm like, yeah, man, I did that through through my family, through hard work, and just you got to change your mindset. You got to change your mindset and realize that productivity is a must. You know, productivity is a must. You need to take care of things that actually matter, and money is one of them. Anything else that you'd like to talk about during this podcast?
Yeah, definitely, man. Sorry. So you're right. I did get distracted with my daughter. Just to reiterate, though, for my own sake, I know I could replay this audio if I wanted to, but just to reiterate for my own sake, um, you basically got frustrated of the stuff you were doing. You know, is it a feeling you always had, or was it was just kind of like one day to another, you woke up and you're like, man, what am I doing?
Yeah, just got disgusted with my decisions, and I decided, man, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna become a businessman. Like, I'm going to do this. This is gonna be my life. Like, I'm not a drug addict. I'm. This is not that. My future has to be different. I have to be great, and I owe that to my family. I owe that to my little sisters, and to everybody that I left in the U.S. To my friends, to you guys. I mean, I owe it to everybody because if I don't do that, then my sacrifice was in vain. I did it for nothing. So I have to be great.
Oh yeah, that's good, man. I like it. How are you doing on time?
So yeah, no, I think this is good for the introduction. For those who are watching, we're gonna be coming out with a lot of interesting content. We have a lot of stuff to talk about and some very interesting stories, very funny stories.
Yeah.
Just stuff that you see in movies. We really have some stuff to talk about. We got stuff about love. We got stuff about parties, crazy parties, real, actual crazy parties. We're gonna get into some deep conversations regarding some drugs, regarding a lot of different subjects, aliens, space. We're gonna talk about meditation, a lot of different things. This podcast is about ideas. Daniel, would you like to end with anything else?
I agree. This is based on idea. Like, I love it. That was a perfect way to say it, and we hadn't talked about that before. This podcast is based on ideas, and really, the way this specific episode started 1 week ago, maybe less than a week ago. I think this was like 5 days ago, 4 days ago. Axel said, "Hey, we should start a podcast." I said, "I'm down." And then we had initially planned this to come out on Sunday of this week. I don't know if it matters a date, but I texted in the group chat, "Hey, 2 more days." And Axel was like, "Why don't we just do it now?" And he started recording without me even knowing. So, I mean, hopefully for the first podcast, decent. Doesn't matter who's listening or not, to be honest. My goal within the podcast is for me to listen back and, who knows, like really just improve my own way of communicating. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's to come out of it.
You know what's gonna come out of it? People are gonna leave in the comment section some things that they want us to talk about, because people have a
Yeah.
lot of things that they want to. They want opinions. Hey, what do you guys think about this? Or whether that's relationship advice, whether that's life opinions or whatever. We can talk about it. We're open to different type of ideas, and we do a lot of research. We're also going to touch on anabolics in one of the podcasts.
I was going to mention that.
Yeah.
I was going to mention that. And this is almost to add on to what you're saying. It's an open journal of our experiences, basically. Open journal. So really, look, I'm not anyone big. Axel's not anyone big. At least not within our audience, right?
Yeah.
We're just normal guys talking about whatever we want to talk about.
Just normal guys. What I mean? Yeah, that's right. So thank you guys for listening, and we're gonna be in touch. We're gonna try to come out with at least one podcast every 2 weeks or so. We don't really have a set schedule because the three of us live in different locations around the world. So having the time to to be at the same time, the three of us, is going to be really hard, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it, and it's going to be great, and some good ideas and good comments are going to come out of that. Daniel, do me the honors of the conclusion.
We will see everybody. Let you know what platform this is going to go on. Not sure yet. Haven't discussed it. But hope everybody has a productive, fun day. Enjoy yourselves. Don't get all stressed out. Don't get beat up, overworked. One tip Axell gave me for school, because I'm doing full-time work, full-time school, is honestly plan everything out, man. Literally, don't stress out. Doing your work is not based on being that stressed out person. More specifically for college, everyone has this idea that at college you're that student who's working late nights. You don't have to be that person if you're not being complacent and you're just prioritizing what you should be doing.
That's right, guys. That's right.
I still fall into that trap, but that's why this is an open journal.
That's right, guys. Just like Daniel said, I got an average of 95 taking 6 college level classes just this semester. 95 average on all 6 classes. That's straight A's. And I didn't just late nights, none of that. You just gotta manage your time wisely. Do a little bit of work here, a little bit there. Complete it time by time. If you do it all at once, you're gonna stress yourself out, and you're gonna end up not doing anything that's quality. The professor's gonna notice it. You're gonna notice it, and you also need to know your professor. You need to know every professor is different, completely different. That's all I gotta say for you guys, and we'll be in touch. See you next time. Hope you listened to the entire thing, and if you did, you can do whatever the you wanna do.
Hey, later, guys. Take care.